Good morning. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on this third day of August. And it's brought to you by First Southern Bank, by Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jessup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Hi, Wayne and surrounding counties. This is Sean O'Quinn with O'Quinn & Associates. The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined. I have decided that it is time for me to make a change. I have decided to start my own independent insurance agency. What does this mean for you? Better rates and multiple companies. Give us a call at our new number, 912-385-1000, or stop by and see us. We are still at 212 South 1st Street, and we look forward to serving you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, it's right slap in the middle of the week. Scrimmage game coming up this weekend, and we've got a person here who knows all about what's going on.
We got Athletic Director Justin Mcdonald in the studio with us to talk about how people can purchase tickets for the scrimmage and about the upcoming fall sports schedule. A lot going on. You got volleyball, cross country, softball, and football. So Coach McDonald is on the job. Full-time ADs. First of all, how's it feel to be the full-time athletic director?
It's going good. Obviously, it's going to get kind of busy here with fall sports. I know you mentioned volleyball, softball, softball scrimmages today, and football Friday, and then volleyball picks up here soon along with cross country, and then you have esports, football cheer or spirit cheer, and then competitive cheerleading all going on in the fall. So it's a busy time, and again with school starting and the excitement for athletics, it's a great time.
Well, the football season is here again. They got the scrimmage Friday night against Glen Academy. They're saying you go on what they saw GoFan. So explain what GoFan is for people to get tickets for it.
Yes, I guess we're going to transition into it, so it's going to be a process. And obviously a majority of our state and high school athletics has gone to the GoFan process. There's an actual website, and then there's an app on the phone that makes it very easy that you can download the app in there, and then you'll search schools, and you can put Wayne County High School, and then obviously all of our scheduled games will pop up. Even, for instance, today softball is going to Effingham, so Effingham uses GoFan. So they linked up with us. So if you're going to buy a ticket for the scrimmage, if you go on our Wayne County page on GoFan, then you'll actually see the ticket for the Effingham and softball game that takes place in Springfield. But obviously there's going to be some headaches and some probably some adversity when we do this. But we're going to start out. They are pre-selling some tickets that you can pay for cash at Sheffield's and Wayne County Outfitters. They can go by there and get their tickets with cash money. Also, Miss Cynthia Brandon, our athletic secretary, who's doing a great job. She'll be out front at the school today, tomorrow, and Friday, selling them from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So she's going to be out there, obviously, Friday, selling them for the students as well. But, it's going to be, we're going to kind of transition, away from the cash, and we'll do it the scrimmage and then the Appleton home game, and then kind of try to transition to all electronic. So, if they show up at the game at the gate, there's going to be, a lot of people during COVID got familiar at restaurants with the QR codes where they take their camera on their phone and you take a picture of it and it pops up. There'll be big signs with those QR codes, and if they pull their phone out and get it locked in on it, it'll pull that GoFan page up, and then they'll just purchase a ticket. Also, we'll have an iPad set up at each gate where they can have we can actually do the ticket for them, and then they'll just pay for it. So we're going to be there to help. Obviously, there's going to be some people that need help. When they come to the high school, they'll have the option to go ahead and get used to using the QR code or actually paying with cash, but we strongly recommend that they kind of go ahead and get used to trying to use GoFan. I told people when we went in the playoffs in baseball last year, everywhere was GoFan. All the concession stands were card only. So, cash is becoming something. It's a lot easier on a school system when you don't have to deal with the cash at the gate and it's all electronic and you get sent in. And, it's a little bit, it makes the process a little bit easier for everybody involved.
So, again, if people want tickets for, you say that Miss Brandon's going to be at the school today, we're at the school.
She'll be out. If you come in the front doors, obviously you have to come through and get buzzed in, but she'll be right there in the front of the school, right before you get into the auditorium was set up there to pay. And again, she'll have the electronic option along with the cash option. But again, we strongly encourage to use the cash option or the electronic option to kind of get used to using it. But they can also go by Sheffield's and Wayne County Outfitters. They have tickets to sell as well. But the QR code is kind of the big thing. It makes it a whole lot easier if you don't know what you're doing. And there's going to be people at the gates on Friday where you can purchase tickets and people that will help you make sure you're doing it right. And, again, if you got any questions, anybody got any questions, concerns, they can call our athletic office at 427-1088 and extension 841. So if they have any questions, feel free to call because obviously we know this is a process and it's going to take some time to get it right. But, this is going to be JV football. It's going to be done softball, volleyball, all the way through the winter sports and to the spring. We're going to transition to kind of make this something that's a norm around here. And, obviously there's going to be some adversity, but we'll work through it.
And the scrimmage on Friday night, will the concession stands be open and will be taking cash?
They'll be taking cash in the concession. I'm assuming now. I would assume that part I haven't checked into, but the actual gate process is we're going to try to transition that into full electronic here in the next 2 weeks.
Somebody wants to know how much is the service charge to use GoFan? Do you know?
It's $1.
$1
yeah,
per,
and there's a couple of ways that we can.
$1 per ticket?
$1 per ticket. So
that's what we have to pay GoFan?
Yes.
$1 per ticket.
Yeah.
User
now we're still working on the possibilities of is it charged $11 at the gate or do we pay that at the end? And we're going to kind of trial and error that and see how it works. But there is a $10 ticket will be $11 when you go on GoFan.
Okay. People want to know: are you going to still use cash for concession, or they have to use the QR code?
No, concessions, as I know now. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but. Obviously booster clubs and organizations run those concession stands, and the majority of them are cash. And
okay, what about the Touchdown Club, Bob? Are they going to use QR code or use cash?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. We'll find out.
I would have got that. I can get that answer to you, and I guess he can get it. So people
I'm just reading the questions that are coming in.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be cash. I wouldn't. Okay. I don't think it's going. That part's going to change.
Cash at concession.
There we go.
All right. Yes, cash for concessions, and we just in. All right.
Big crowd expected Friday too. I think Glenn will bring a big crowd as well, so it should be fun.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting. There's a lot of change that has gone on, and I heard Coach Shaw's interview on sports, and just hearing the way he's handling the program and the movement that he's made just in being here in a short time. It's an exciting time and look forward to a great season. And, the turnout's awesome. There's anywhere from some 90 to 100 there every day in the summer, and I think people need to understand that's not normal in a lot of places that you have that many kids that show up in the heat of the summer to work out and condition and be there for 3-4 hours a day in the summer when there's a lot of other things they can be doing. So there's a lot of great things going on in athletics, and a lot of people need to understand that a lot of these sports are year round, and there's stuff going on in spring sports right now. There's stuff going on for basketball. There's stuff going on, obviously, the fall sports, baseball, track and field, golf. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a continuous process to be successful.
And it's hard. I told Coach Shaw yesterday, I can't imagine. I'm standing there watching the practices, and it's boiling hot. I can't imagine those kids out there with helmets and full pads on. They got to be. I mean, it's a hot time of year to be playing football.
Yeah, it is. And, I can remember where it started in September, and now it's kind of bumped all the way up into August. But, obviously Georgia High School did a great job with the heat policy to obviously protect the safety of the kids. And, Coach White, our athletic trainer, Scott White, he does an outstanding job of keeping track of the wet bulb and making sure that it's safe for the kids to get out there and compete at a high level. And, he's a big part of our athletic department and what he does for our student athletes.
Two of the sports have new coaches. Colt Brockington steps in as a new varsity girls softball coach. Got a new cross-country coach as well. I mean, Colt's a softball coach. I think I said cross-country, I'm sorry, but Colt's the new softball coach. Got a new cross-country coach, Mr. Kunda. Is that correct?
That's
Tell
correct.
us about them. Coach Broadhead was there for many years, started the program. So tell us about the new cross-country coach.
He's a history teacher at our high school, and he kind of transitioned into it. He was an assistant track last year and worked with the long distance runners, but he transitioned in, and he's run a summer program all summer, and he had a substantial amount of athletes show up each day during the summer, and they run and lifted, and I think he's going to continue to carry what Coach Broadhead has done here, and Coach Broadhead had a lot of success with cross country, and there's a lot of region championships up there that he was a part of and that he helped build in both girls and boys. And, I think Coach Kunda's going to do the same thing. And, I think right now they're up around 20 out there on cross country, and I think that number will jump a little bit when school starts. But, we're excited about our fall sports. And, again, there's a difference in this. My mindset going into this the new job and being the athletic directors, there's a difference in just having athletics and then having competitive athletics. And, we just don't want to have athletics and obviously or have something. We want to be competitive at it in all sports. And, we want each head coach to think that their sport's the most important one at that school because they're in charge of it. And I think Coach Kunda does that. And I know Coach Brockington does that with softball. And obviously Coach Shaw and the rest of our coaching staff does that with their sports. So, again, we want to be competitive. And, the Director Cup, there's a standing out there where it takes in consideration of all the success of your athletics, and I think out of 58 teams last year in 5A, we finished 22nd, and to me that's middle of the pack, that's mediocre, and that's unacceptable. So, there's no doubt that we should finish in the top 10 every year with the athletes that we have and the coaching staffs that we're putting into place.
How will it be in the new region? Like I said, it's always numbers against numbers. Will it be more competitive for us in this region 4A instead of 5A?
I think it kind of depends. Obviously football it's going to be it's going to be competitive, but I don't think it's going to be what they had to go through in football in the last few years. But Benedictine obviously is good in the male sports. That's one thing in like soccer or girls soccer. Burke don't have soccer or girls soccer, so there'll be some limited teams in some of the sports based on some of the schools in our region not having those particular sports. But, I think it's going to be competitive. I know in softball it'll be competitive and obviously football. And, from a baseball standpoint, 2 or 3 of those teams were in the Elite 8 last year. So I know Burt was, Benedictine was, and we were. So that's 3 teams in that region that were in the Elite 8 last year. So, I don't think it necessarily is going to not be competitive. I think anytime you line up in high school sports, anything can happen. But I think the biggest thing, the travel issue, the travel is going to be substantially better. Burke's a little bit of a haul, but not near as what you had to do as far as going to Warner Robins and veterans, especially during the middle of the week with basketball and some of these other sports. But, I think it's going to be a great test. And, obviously we get to do it for 2 years, and Georgia High School will have another plan. So they'll revamp some stuff, but, we'll see what happens.
How in the world did Pierce get to drop down to Double A? You have to answer that.
I don't have the answer. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you don't have answers to that happen. Yeah, that's a tough region they're going to be in too. You know, that kind of filled up. You know, I think Applin's down there with them too. So
I'm just thinking
they must have redid the numbers.
They did
because they still got the same amount of students. They just must have redid the numbers for the different classifications.
I'm still shaking my head. Applin and Pierce are Double A, and Long County's Triple A. I just can't get my head around that.
Yeah.
Well, Long County, just the Hinesville, Fort Stewart. If you take a look at the homes over there, they're popping up like mushrooms over there. Man, they're growing like out in the white in Long County right now.
Number of athletes, anyway.
Okay. Somebody wants to know: can you buy an all sports pass? Is that going to be something that's because that's a lot of games? I don't know how you would figure that out.
Yes. So I guess coming into being the athletic director, I had a lot of things that we're going to do. And, you know, I had to keep telling myself we can't do all this in 1 year. And, you know, the athletic passes is one thing that probably is not going to happen this year, but will definitely happen next year. And, you know, that's something that, you know, transition to GoFan and, you know, doing the athletic pass. And that seemed like a little too much when talking with our athletic secretary and, you know, too much to go off of 1 year, and then we're going to transition into that.
But is that something you see maybe down the future where a person can purchase and all, and they don't have to worry about buying individual games? Yes. They can say, all right, I pay X amount for this and go to all the sports.
You know, I watched parents go to a middle school baseball game, transition over to a soccer game, then go to a baseball game in the spring, and they had to buy 3 different tickets. And, you know, it's not fair to the parents that are having to support their kids and, you know, having to pay that at the gate. We're going to do something to bring relief to that, and you know that's definitely going to happen next year.
Make it a lot simpler.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. And along with that, we're going to do a student pass as well. So there will be a student pass and a pass that anybody in the community could buy, and that will take place next year.
Okay, all right.
And just joining us, athletic director and head baseball coach Justin McDonald. I want to emphasize that you're still the baseball coach, right? People ask that question all the time. So.
I am. So, looking forward to that too. You know,
I know Luke just went to Athens, got settled in, so looking forward to him playing for Georgia this year. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. I think he'll compete and have a chance to play early. And you know, he's been up there for quite some time now. So, you know, once you get up there, you got to lock down and get ready to go. And no doubt he's going to be able to do that.
Injuries always a part of sports. I hate to see Gavin Mixon's going to have Tommy John surgery, so. He's going to miss the entire baseball season. Is that correct? So
yeah, it'll be close. You know, there may be some things he can do. You know, obviously that's things that we kind of, you know, you try to help him through it and, you know, stay positive about it. And, you know, he's upbeat. You know, I think he's down in Florida seeing the doctors today to try to get a plan together. But, you know, again, he's got our full support, and, you know, he's going to continue to be out there with football, and you know I'm proud of him. He didn't want to step away from football, even though he's injured. He showed up the next day and was out there with those guys. And I know he talked with Coach Shaw, and he's going to be a part of it, even though he can't participate right now. And you know that's big coming from a high school kid that could easily just say I'm hurt and I can't be out there, but he still wants to be out there and be a part of it. So I'm proud of him for that. And you know obviously we're going to rally around him and get him on the recovery process, and you know anybody knows about that recovery process. It's pretty tough, and you got to be committed to it. And obviously, when you do that, you're gonna come out better than you were if you do it the right way. And you know we're gonna be behind him and support him through that.
Well, every morning when I leave here, I go to Hurricanes and I see all your baseball players up there. They just came from workouts. So, I mean, it's an off-season conditioning program. They said they've been working hard. You know, I mean, like we mentioned, it doesn't matter what sport it is. It seems like it's a year-round event.
Yeah, it is, and you know we've been going 3 days a week at 6:45, and again I've said it before. You give these guys the option of 6:45 or 10 o'clock in the morning. They want to get up early and get it done, and you know that again I don't think that's normal for a high school kid to want to get out of bed and get up there in the summer and get their workout in, and you know they do a great job as well. You know there's a lot of vacations, a lot of planned things they have to do with their family, and obviously, with their summer team that they play with, they've done a great job of communicating with the coaching staff prior to them not showing up. So, you know, we pretty much every day, if somebody wasn't there, we knew where they were. And, you know, that's what the real world is about, is being able to communicate and let people know if you're not going to be somewhere, where you're at. And, you know, they've done a great job of that during the summer. And, you know, it's kind of rubbing off on those young guys. You know, the young guys were kind of struggling with it there early, but now it's kind of something that they're accustomed to. And, that just don't happen. That transitions in the school. If they're going to be late to school, they let us know. If they're going got a doctor's appointment, they're going to check out, they let us know. And, that's not micromanaging. That's just teaching them what the real world is going to be like. And, we hold them accountable for it. And, I think that's a little bit bigger than what baseball is. And, obviously when you do things like that, wins take care of themselves. So just proud of those guys for what they've done all summer.
As you transitioned into being the athletic director, have you been in contact with the athletic directors in the other schools in our region?
I have, and I haven't necessarily been to it. We had a meeting scheduled back, I guess, there in May, and it got pushed back due to testing at schools, and we're got one scheduled up coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I've been in contact with them through email,
okay.
But yeah, we'll have a meeting coming up here in the next couple of weeks and kind of solidify some stuff, and it'll be my first one with this group. A lot of that taking place prior to me getting involved, so again, I know some of those just through being here 15 years and being in this area, but I'll meet some people that I don't know and then build some relationships with those guys, and I guess try to do what's best for our region and for Wayne County.
Okay. And as athletics, will you be hands-on with the middle school as well?
Yes.
Because we talked many times, you have to build it from the ground up.
Correct.
I mean, that middle school is the feeder program to the high school, so I'm sure you're going to be hands-on that as well.
We are, and obviously the principals of those buildings have full control, but we're having our big athletic meeting, our coaches meeting tomorrow morning at 7:30, and that's high school and middle school coaches all in one setting. And my philosophy and my expectation is as every head coach of a high school sport needs to have their hands on the middle school. They need to know the pulse of what the middle school program's doing, because at the end of the day, those are the kids you're going to be playing with, whether it's in 1 year or 3 years or whatnot. So they need to have the pulse on what's going on in their middle school program, along with what's going on in the rec department. I think Coach Brocken has done a great job. I think Coach Shaw is going to do a great job in the fall. I know Coach Ray and Coach Hobbs are going to get back involved and do some things in the rec department to try to start building those relationships, because, we're all in this together. I think that's one thing that kind of, it's not just at the high school. Now, the high school gets magnified because it gets more about the success part, but, the development and the process of getting those kids to be the best they can be, that starts at the recreation level. And, Spec Eccles does an outstanding job with our rec department, and, obviously people volunteer in the community to coach, and, that's a big part of it too. Those people are volunteers. They're not getting paid to do it, and, that's time they're taking away from their family to go out there and coach kids in our community. And, I think that's important to go from recreation middle school into the high school. So, I think that's something important that all of our staff and coaches, that's going to be the expectation that they be involved in all that.
Well, there's a lot of talent coming from those middle schools. We had the swim team in here before they went to state. We had Spec in here with those girls softball teams at one state. So, your baseball program, those two middle schools were successful. There's a lot of talent coming up towards the high school from those middle school programs. That's right, and it's a special place here. Speaking of baseball, people talk about the success of baseball, and I think people don't understand the number one reason we have great players and kids that develop, and our job is to structure it and put discipline and accountability in it, and and kind of lead them along and set up a plan for them to be successful. At the end of the day, these athletes are the ones that's getting it done, and it's about what they do. And again, the success that comes through our rec department into the middle school and everything, whether it's tennis or golf or, anything, cross country or track, swimming, it's anything that a kid can participate in. When they get to the high school, we expect to compete and win region titles. And, that's going to be the expectation of the coaches. We just don't want to feel a sport to have something for them kids to do. We want to be competitive in it and compete for region and state titles. You mentioned the discipline. Everybody knows the last couple of years football, they didn't have much discipline. Coach Shaw's brought that back. You can't be successful without discipline. I think kids want discipline. No, I one of my favorite sayings, I don't know if I'm sure somebody coined it before I did, but winning is just a result of doing things the right way. And, everybody wants to concentrate on a result-oriented society where everybody wants to see the result quick and not understand the process. I think Coach Shaw and myself and our whole athletic department is going to be more process-driven, and then once that process plays out, then the winning takes place. And, in that process, if you don't have discipline, then, obviously there's nothing going to happen in a positive way, and it's going to filter downhill. But
I think he's done a great job of when he got here in the spring and filtering down into the summer and what he's done and kind of changing the culture. The expectation of our athletic department is kind of to set the standard for our high school and the way we carry ourselves and the way we go about our business. And, again, that's going to take each coach of every sport rowing in the same direction and pulling for each other and holding everybody accountable, because we do share athletes. So, for instance, if there's a baseball guy in football, then Coach Shaw's going to hold him accountable, but we're going to hold him accountable as well. So I think that's the message. That'll be a message that's sent tomorrow to our coaching staff, that we all need to be in the same direction, and the accountability of our athletes has got to be at a high level.
I still hear parents that went to that first meeting that Coach Shaw had with the parents, where he laid out the fact that there will be discipline in the program, and they're still impressed with the message that he had. Like I said, the numbers speak for themselves. The kids seem to have bought in. I said that it's amazing the little time he's been here to get that many kids out there. And I said they've been out there every day in the summer, every day lifting weights. It's a testament to him and his coaching staff. So I think we're in for good things in the fall. Looking forward to Friday night. It'll be the first time we see it on display. But they've been working hard, and they got some talent out there, and it should be fun.
Yeah, and these kids at the high school age, I know it may sound kind of crazy, but, a lot of those are starving for discipline and structure. And, when you give it to them, obviously when there's 90-something players out there, then they have taken it on and embraced it and are going in the right direction with it. And, I've said if those numbers continue to start to drop, it's because kids didn't want to do it right and they've been removed from the process. And, that sometimes happens. And, sometimes on teams you see things of that nature happen and the team kind of takes another step in the right direction. So, again, we're going to allow, I'm not a micromanager. I don't believe if you're a leader that you can micromanage. You lead by letting guys do their job and just, going about their business. And, again, I'm going to let these coaches go do their job and let them, if they need any kind of help or guidance, then we'll help them. But, again, it's their program. They're going to brand their program. They're going to promote their program. They're going to hold their athletes accountable, and obviously they're going to compete and be successful if they do all those things.
Well, before we let you go, again, you came for a reason. Once again, the scrimmages is Friday night. Tickets are available. As you mentioned, Sheffield, it's Wayne County Outfielders. Wayne County Outfitters both have them on sale this week. Also, you said the athletic secretary will be at school today and tomorrow and Friday. Is that correct?
That's correct. From 11:30 to 1.
11:30 to 1.
At the high school, right there, right when you walk into the front of the school. And again, she'll be set up with cash or the GoFan.
And if people out there want to order it in advance, can't get to one of those places, they can go to that website. Is it a website? GoFan? Is that what it is?
Yes, you can go. You can either go to a website. It's probably easier if you go to your app store, and it's a free app. It's GoFan. And you download that app, and then it'll have a search bar where you search the school, and then you'll just put Wayne County High School. And once that comes up, you're going to see a lot of stuff on there. We've already kind of got a lot of the fall home activity or home games and most of the fall sports. Most of those in there. You'll see some JV football games. You'll see some softball. You'll see some varsity football games. But you'll go select the actual date and the ticket that you'll want to buy, and you go through the process of buying it. And I think once you set it up one time, it gets a lot easier. And our coaches also, when they go on away events, they're going to have a lot of our programs have social media pages. So and we're going to post this link on our high school social media pages, and then we're in the process of creating some athletic social media. So these links will be posted around where you can continuously go back and just click on them, and then it'll bring you right to the page, and you'll be able to go down and buy those tickets for whatever contest. And again, I know there's going to be some negativity with it, and I'm going to embrace the negativity, and we're going to turn it into something positive here in the next couple of weeks. And obviously anybody that needs help, I guarantee you, if you need help or you feel like this is going to be overwhelming, there's going to be people there to help you get through the process and make it easier for you.
Okay, Coach. It's always good to see you. Again, congrats again on being named full-time AD baseball coach. Look forward to the exciting season. Like I said, you mentioned, just got to get all this right now. I know they've got football, volleyball, cross country, and softball, but there's also competitive cheer and esports. Forget about the esports. Explain the esports program.
Esports kind of it's a gaming a sport where they compete against other high schools and kind of video games, and we have a big turnout for that. There's a big Dr. Robert Patton does a great job of heading up our esports, and he's got a big turnout, and that's one of those sports that kind of goes in the fall and then carries over into the spring some too. So he does a great job with that, and again, there's a big demand for that in our high school with kids, and obviously we're starting bass fishing in the spring, and that's going to be something that's going to allow some kids that don't participate in athletics to have something that they can participate. That's a growing sport here in South Georgia.
So bass fishing is coming to Wayne County in the spring.
It is coming to Wayne County in the spring. And
is there a coach for that?
We're in the process of selecting a coach. The main thing with that is you got to have captains with boats, and necessarily it can be a parent, it can be a community member. We're going, once we get this selected, they're going to start. Obviously, kind of reaching out and see what the interest is in our high school. I know there's going to be a big interest, but we got to make sure these kids have the resources and the availability to be able to go and compete in these tournaments. And that's another kind of thing that gets in the year round, where there's you got the GHSA, but you have the MLF, which Major League Fishing, and then the Student Angler Federation, where they can process or get themselves in some of those tournaments as well. Obviously, with the Georgia high school stuff happening in the spring, but that I know that's something that's kind of been in transition for a year, and if pull the trigger on it and get it going into this year.
Ought to be interesting. All right, Coach, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Bob, is that it?
That's it.
All right. The world famous Butch and Bob Show. The athletic director, Coach Mcdonald, in here with us this morning here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by First Southern Bank, by Van's Barbecue, by Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn and Associates.